Shalom, Barakatah Yahweh, Barashim Yahweh Shai, Barashim Rakakadash, all praises and glories definitely do, especially in the times we're living in. Much respect to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and to all the brothers out there doing the work. I say Shalom. All right, there's an article that came to my attention, so we're going to read it, and of course, we'll hit up some scriptures, some precepts, whatever comes to mind. All right, so without further ado, let's get started. All right, this is dated January 7th, 2021, 2:02 p.m. Eastern Time. All right, the double standard for policing Capitol rioters and BLM protesters. In June, Black Lives Matter demonstrators were met with massive show of force from police and federal officers. The Trump insurrection that stormed the Capitol didn't receive similar treatment. Well, people, that's not breaking news, okay? All you have to do is ask the Negro, Latino, and Native American, all right, who are the Israelites. All right, we're in your Constitution, all right, in the 13th Amendment on the citizens, and we're worded there as the Aboriginal, Natives, and Indigenous people, which coincidentally are the same words they used, all right, going back to the document of discovery. All right, that was supposedly written up, sanctioned by Pope Nicholas V in 1453. And then that document was constantly updated. By the way, that document was never put into law until modern day here in America, Babylon the Great. All right, so in the 13th Amendment of the citizens, the Aboriginal, Native, and Indigenous people are considered to be 3/5 of a human being. This is in your Constitution. All right? So, there's nothing new here. The two sides to the coin, that's always existed here in America, Babylon the Great. All right? There's always been a double standard. All right, let's continue here. The world watched in shock as an unruly mob of President Trump's supporters stormed the U.S. Capitol on January 6th in an effort to overturn the results of the presidential election. The inability of the U.S. Capitol Police to stop the riot led to a catastrophic breach in national security and a reckoning over law enforcement in Washington, D.C. All right. Horrified lookers, including President-elect Joe Biden, could not help but notice the striking contrast between police response to Trump's insurrection and the hard fist that met Black Lives Matter protests in June. During largely peaceful protests on June 1st, D.C. police officers arrested 289 people, with federal officers tear gassing demonstrators in Lafayette Square to clear the way for Trump's infamous Bible photo op, all right, at St. John's Episcopal Church. By comparison, local police in Washington, D.C., who secured the Capitol grounds on Wednesday and enforced the 6 p.m. citywide curfew, have made only 68 arrests as of Thursday morning. Other scenes illustrated, and we don't need to get into the fact is that most of those charges, they're not even going to be felonies, and nobody's going to jail. All right? That's the reality. Okay? Nobody is necessarily really going to be charged with sedition or terrorism. All right? And let's understand something. All right? Whether it was the bombing in Tennessee, whether it's this insurrection at the Capitol, All right, these people have an agenda here. Okay, and that agenda is that through these acts, what do? Well, they write unrighteous decrees, which is what? What is a decree? Laws. To take away the rights of the needy and the poor, of the Lord's people, the Negro, Latino, or Native American. All right, where do we read that? Read that in Isaiah 10:1. All right? All right, so you people need to understand what the big picture is here. They have an agenda, and ultimately, right now it's about the Crown Royal 19, and it's about introducing you, to Maxine Waters, Maxine Nightingale, and ultimately what they want to do is introduce you to the mark of the beast, the RFID microchip, all right? That's the ultimate crowning achievement of their agenda, okay? So keep those things in mind, all right? Other scenes illustrated the chasm in police response. A TikTok clip appeared to show Capitol Police opening barricades for pro-Trump agitators. You see that? One officer in riot gear helped a Trump supporter down the set. Even as police fired tear gas and flash grenades into the churning crowd, others gave departing Trump supporters directions to their cars or hotels. All right. The Dickamonian treatment is plain to see. All right. Let's look that word up. Dictamony. All right. Give me a minute here. All right. Oh. Give me a minute. All right, this is the definition of dictamony, all right? A division or contrast between two things that are or are represented as being opposed or entirely different. You see that? Okay, you see that, people? Division, separation, all right? Chasm, difference, contrast, okay? Contradiction, antagonism, conflict. You see that, people? When you point out dictamony, you draw a clear distinction between two things, right? So Edomites, right? White people get treated differently than the Negro, Latino, Native American in America. And that's always been the case. You understand? All right? Dictamony is a contrast between two things, two ideas, yeah. Right. In other words, you have a Jake, right, who commits a crime, and an Edomite commit a crime, and both of them are the same crimes, but yet the Jake will probably get 25, 30 years in life, where the Edomite will just simply get a slap on the wrist, all right, if that, and pay a fine. How about that, all right? And none of y'all can deny that, because that's fact, all right? That's recorded history. All right, let's get back to the article. All right, so now we know what dictamony is. All right, indifference, okay? Two sides to the coin, all right? One people get treated a certain kind of way, they get special treatment, right? Like, what is it? I forget who that guy's name, the guy, that Edomite kid that I think went to what? North Carolina, South Carolina, shot up a church. And what did the cops do? They took him to McDonald's to eat, all right? That's what they did. All right, let's continue here. To absolutely imitate to be forced against rioters, looters. Racine said at the Capitol, police used kid gloves. See that? Police used kid gloves with these Edomites, all right? And let protesters pass, he said. And the incident shows that the system of criminal enforcement and policing isn't fair, and that Trump and his supporters are wrong to claim there is no systematic racism, Racine said. Right, because many of these people that are in your Congress, including your president, they've all denied that there is no systematic racism in this country. I mean, you know what? They can say whatever the hell they want. You know, this is psychological warfare. It's just word games, playing on people's psyche, much like with all their these staged events, all right? And many of these people are just duped into believing, as Nixon said, you know, back in 1972, you know, the American people believe everything they see on television, all right? So there is no doubt that Black Lives Matter protesters would not have been treated with respect and deference that has been shown here. Here you go. Former federal prosecutor Harry Sanders said in an interview, President Trump and his advisors and lawmakers and those members of Congress who encouraged this should be shamed and driven from public life for all time. All right? Yeah, well, these people, you know, what is that? Give me a minute. This is Zechariah 11:5, whose possessors slay them, all right? And we're still in our captivity, people, all right? We're still in our captivity, all right? I'll prove that to you in a moment. Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. That's what these people do, these Edomites, right? Whether it's your government, the police, the alphabet agencies, I don't care what, all right? This is a system, and it's an anti-Messiah system, all right? So they slay us, and they hold themselves not guilty. How long has that been going on for? For the past 528 years here in the Americas, all right? When that wicked Columbus, all right, came here, all right, he couldn't even put his sword down for an hour, all right? And they sell them. See that? All right? Blessed be the Lord Yahweh, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. See that? All right? Now let's prove to you we're still in captivity here. We're going to go to Baruch. All right? Give me a minute. All right, this is Baruch 3:8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse. The curses, all right? Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, all right? You know, again, and we would be a proverb and a byword. These people would have us in derision, right? Well, they've had their foot on our necks for the past 528 years. And to be subject to payments, right? Taxes, rent, mortgage, car payments, whatever, all right? According to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from our Lord, all right? So we would be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from our Lord, our God power, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. You see that? All right. What else here? All right. You know what? We're going to end this here and come right back with part 2. All right? So I'm going to say shalom.